This is the bridge at Challis. I can walk under it easily, so there's about 8 feet of clearance. Can't really tell which side. This is the bow ramp at the Bay Horse recreation site or something, maybe 5 or 8 miles upstream from Challis. This is the bridge to the Bay Horse campground. I'm guessing it's about 8 feet of clearance, but the river's pretty narrow here, so it'll, at higher flow, it'll probably come up pretty quick. Okay, this is a Dead Man recreation site. Now we're maybe 20 miles from Challis, 15 miles, I don't know. This is a small bridge just upstream from the South Fork, the East Fork. And so you can see I'm looking up at the bottom. I'm standing right at the water's edge, so I'd say, we've got 8 feet of clearance at the beams, another 6 inches or a foot in between them, so 9 feet maybe. And the river's sort of an average width, not real narrow or wide. Okay, here's that same spot, viewed from above. There's the log, and then it's kind of hard to read from above, but looks like you want to head right in there. So you end up pretty close to the bank, but not on the bank. And if you get freaked out, there's a couple of gaps in here that you can cut through. But okay, I'm not sure where we are now. I think maybe 25 miles from Stanley. We went up by a gas station that appeared operational and maybe within a quarter mile of the river. Again, I'm looking up at the bottom of the bridge. So I'd say we've got 10 feet of clearance. The river isn't real wide here though, so this one may come up relatively quick if the flow comes up. But there's like buildings right over there, so maybe the flow doesn't really come up all that much, or that those buildings are well anchored. Okay, this is Torrey Hole River access. It's like a ramp is like 2.5 lanes wide. It goes in pretty steep, and there's quite a bit of current. So it's not going to be super friendly, but at least it's not pointing into the current. Okay, I saw something about O'Brien something or other bridge or something. Anyway, I think there's about 10 feet of clearance under this one. The river has a lot more of a canyon feel now, whereas previously it was a little bit more wide open and flat bottom. Okay, this one's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but anyway, you probably come down the right side of the river. Well, you're coming down to be on the right, the far side. Okay, you come through here, and you end up almost exactly in the middle of the river here. Head that way. And that big rock there, it's right in the middle. Go to the right of that, and there's that log poking out up in the air. There's actually a whole lot of room around that log. Then you can just kind of stay sort of left until you get to there. Then you want to kind of head over to the right, particularly when you get a little bit farther down. You head over to the right, and then you're done. So, looks easy. Okay, here's the Yankee Fork and the main salmon. And the Yankee Fork is significant. It might be definitely 25% of the flow, maybe 30. Here, in case I didn't get that one, here, this is full wide angle. I'm sitting down right by the dam. There's a rock right there, so on the right side, so you don't want to get that close. You probably won't be that close, but don't get that close. The big hole right out in the middle there. You don't want to be in the middle of that hole, and you don't want to hit the rock that's downstream from it. You might be able to squeeze on the right side here. I can't see real well. It looks like there might be room around that rock there on the right, but I can't get over to look. And on the far, it looks like you can just come up the right side of the wave train. You want to call it a wave train, and sort of go over there. Okay, on the other side, it looks like it's pretty smooth, but then you're going to have to deal with that hole to some extent. I can't see how much from this perspective. You know, maybe if you get a whole bunch of speed up, you can just hop it, but you know, I can't tell because that wave's in the way. Yeah, but overall, you know, it's really not that bad, except for that freaking hole at the top. You know, I think you can just barely see where I was sitting down below. It's like right there. So I didn't know if the river widened out on this side. It does right away. So it looks like you could squeeze up that side, and which would be on the upstream right side of the big hole. It looks like you could also run this side, which would be on the upstream left side of the hole. But this side you'd definitely want to have some speed, you know, and there's some rocks and stuff hiding in. They mark pretty well at this flow, so you just don't want to go right there. So yeah, it's easy. And a rafter told me that when the flow goes up, it flattens out. So if it's a little higher flow, maybe be a little bit even easier, sort of. Okay, this is the first dam upstream, or the first bridge upstream from the Sunbeam Dam. Again, I'm looking up at the bottom of the bridge, and I'm maybe 6 inches above the water, so got about 8 feet of clearance. You know, we probably lost half the flow compared to Challis, maybe more. So the river's noticeably smaller. Like what you want to do is like miss those two pour over rocks, and it looks like you kind of want to be on the close near side of the river. Definitely a rock sitting right in there. You know, you can be on the near side of the river. Stay on the near side, near side, near side. You know, there's like right in there. There's a rock making that pour over, and then you want to go over to the far side, like right in there. There's like, yeah, you can see a couple rocks for sure right there. You want to be over on the far side, right over there. You know, these waves aren't all that big. They just, you know, you can just walk up through this, but on a down run, not so much. You're gonna kind of need to know where to be. This is kind of hard to see. So on a down run, you'll start on down left side, down, and cross over right here. Ish. It's kind of where the river starts to turn. Cross over before that. It turns and goes around the corner here. And there's more shit down below. I'll go look at that now. Okay, so remember I said don't hit those rocks. Well, the first rock, there it is way up there. Okay, there's a super telephoto. You're going to back out. You know, so you're coming down the near side of the river. You're coming down the near side. And it looks like you're kind of out in the middle. A little bit, but a little close to this side. And you can stay a little close to this side. There, you know, there's plenty of room there. You know, just don't hit that whole thing, the rock there. And you kind of keep on this side, and it looks like you can go, you know, left or right around that one, and then you just kind of head down the middle. And there's a whole bunch of, looks like a whole bunch of little rocks maybe down there, but yeah. Little rocks they don't hurt as much as big rocks, right? Okay, here we are back at the top of this. This is really like boily, churny kind of thing that I've seen aside from the Sunbeam Dam. So, you know, it's pretty memorable. Okay, you're not going to wonder if you're in it, you'll know you're in it. And, you know, so it looks like, you know, you want to be like middle of the river. The main thing is you don't want to hit that rock. It looks like you'd actually go on either side, but I'd be advocating for the near side. This is cleaner. And you kind of keep coming down here on the near side, and now you can see this kind of thing that's right in front of you where you're going, holy crap, there's a ledge right there that's just cut across. Okay, cut across there, and then that way you miss those rocks and that rock. You'll notice there's a tree right there. So if you're still on the left, when you get past that tree, you're probably sunk. You want to be on the right when you get past that tree. And after that, you know, I showed you the stuff after that. But yeah, it's not too hard after that. Sort of. Yeah, last thing was actually only like a mile or two above Sunbeam Dam. And this thing is right above Sunbeam Dam. And there's a bunch of waves out there in the middle. As far as I can tell, the water's, the river's descending quickly. So I think those are just waves. And you can probably just blast down through the middle of those and be fine, probably. Sort of. So here you can see, this is where I parked. I showed on the previous little clip. And then down here, you can see there's a big wave there. But you can go around it on the far side there, it looks like. Maybe on the near side, but it wouldn't be as nice. Okay, here's another stretch I didn't see when I was driving upstream, because I'm on the wrong side of the road. But it's really narrow in here, so it's probably going to be pretty deep. But there's definitely a few big waves. You can go around them, you know, for the most part. This one's kind of interesting right in here. And you see this one kind of builds and then goes away, and it's got a good reverse curl on it, you know, so both of those two, they're probably pretty big, you know. From up here they look like they're, I don't know, maybe 3 inches tall, but probably if I went all the way down to the water, they'd be a lot bigger than that. It looks like you can go, you know, on the near side it'd be fine, or just wait for it to go away, because it kind of goes up and down, and then downstream there's a bunch more churny stuff, and like right there, you know, there's a big wave there. You can go around that one. And, you know, farther down, there's some more stuff, you know. And, you can see where I parked, and you know, when I was walking along, I could see, you know, pretty much. Even that stuff, you know, looks pretty bad from here, but yeah, you just go around the worst stuff, or bull your way through it, or something.